Hello, my dear students. Welcome to Sankalp Learning Classes. Today we are studying the important chapter. So that is how do organisms reproduce. So we are studying important question answer from this chapter. Okay. So how do organisms reproduce? Yes, what you learnt in this chapter, how do organisms reproduce in this chapter? We learnt about the different types of the asexual reproduction. First, we studied asexual reproduction, that may be a binary fission, multiple fission, budding or fragmentation, so regeneration. So these all are the type of the asexual reproduction. Then we studied about the sexual reproduction. So in case of the plants, how the sexual reproduction in the flowering plants, and in case of the human beings, how the sexual reproduction takes place in the human beings. So these all things we have studied in this chapter, right? So let us start with the multiple choice questions. So first we are discussing the multiple choice questions, after that 1 mark questions, after that short answer questions as well as long answer questions. Okay, yes, let us start with the first question. Asexual reproduction takes place through the budding in option A amoeba, option B yeast, option C plasmodium, option D leishmania. Here the type of the asexual reproduction through the budding. Amoeba reproduce through the binary fission. In leishmania also we can see the binary fission, and in plasmodium we can see the multiple fission. Plasmodium, so it reproduce through the multiple fission. So we can say that the correct answer is option B, yeast. Okay, option B is the correct answer. Next question. Which of the following is not a part of the female reproductive system in human beings? So, ovary, uterus, vas deferens, fallopian tube. Which of the following is not a part of the female reproductive system? Yes, female reproductive system, it contains the ovary, uterus is present, fallopian tube is present, but vas deferens, it is a part of the male reproductive system. It is a part of the male reproductive system. Okay, so option C is the correct answer, which is not a part of the female reproductive system, that is vas deferens. Next question. The anther contains sepals, option B ovules, option C pistil, option D pollen grains. Anthers, so they will be like this, right? So this is the filament and this is an anther, and anther, they do not contain the sepals, they do not contain the ovules. Pistil is also not a part of the anther, so they contain the pollen grains on their surface. So that is the correct answer is pollen grains. Anther, they release the pollen grains. Option D is the correct answer. See the question number 4. Biological process that has been shown in the diagram is, which of the following biological process is shown here? Production of progenies by fragmentation method, production of progenies by multiple fission method, regeneration of tissue by development in a specialized cells, and asexual reproduction by vegetative propagation. Here, vegetative propagation, so it is not a type of the vegetative propagation, and here the production of progenies by fragmentation method, so it is not a fragmentation method. Fragmentation we can see in Spirogyra, right? The production of progenies by multiple fission, that we can see in the plasmodium, multiple fission. The correct answer is option C, regeneration of tissues by development in the specialized cells. So that is option C. See the diagram. Option C is the correct answer. Next question. In humans, the testes are located outside the lower abdomen in the scrotum because to protect testes from mechanical shocks, to increase the production of sperms. Option C, to maintain the secretion of testosterone hormone. Option D, to maintain the temperature required for sperm production. Here, in human beings, the testes are located outside the lower abdomen in the scrotum because to protect the testes from mechanical shock, no, it is not a correct answer. To increase the production of sperms, no, it is not possible. To maintain the secretion of testosterone hormone, no, it is not correct answer. Correct answer is option D, to maintain the temperature required for the sperm production. The sperm production require a lesser temperature compared to our body, so it is situated inside the scrotum. Option D is the correct answer. Next question. Part of a flower in the plant that develops into fruit is petal, stigma, ovary, style. So after the fertilization, petal will fall off and stigma also fall off and style, so that is also fall off. But the ovary that develops into fruit, ovary develops into fruit, and ovules develop into seeds. So here correct answer is option C, ovary. The part of the flower in the plant that develops into fruit is ovary. Next question. In humans, sexually transmitted viral infection is sexually transmitted viral infection, AIDS, syphilis, tuberculosis, gonorrhea. Here syphilis and gonorrhea, these all are sexually transmitted disease. But here they asked, what is the question? Sexually transmitted viral infection. Sexually transmitted viral infections is AIDS. AIDS, which is a sexually transmitted disease and which is caused by a virus that is called as HIV, human immunodeficiency virus, HIV virus. But syphilis and gonorrhea, they are not caused by the virus. They are sexually transmitted, but they are not caused by the virus, bacterial diseases. Okay. The correct answer is option A. Next question. Part of the flower that develops into fruit and part of the seed that develops into root respectively are the part of the flower that develops into fruit, that is ovary. So in the option A we can say ovary, option C and option D ovary, and part of the seed that develops into root. So root that is developed by plumule. No, root is not developed by the plumule and it is not developed by the ovule. The root is developed by the radicle. So option C, part of the flower that develops into fruit, that is ovary, and the part of the seed that develops into root, that is the radicle. Plumule develop into shoot, plumule develop into shoot and radicle develops into root. So option C is the correct answer. Next question. The correct sequence found in the process of sexual reproduction in a flower is option A, pollination, fertilization, seed, embryo. Option B, seed, embryo, fertilization, pollination. Option C, embryo, seed, pollination, fertilization. Option D, pollination, fertilization, embryo, seed. Here, in the sexual reproduction in the flower, for the first process is pollination. So in the option A and option D, we can see the pollination. After that, fertilization. Yes, fertilization is there. Then it produces the embryo, then develop into seed. So option D is the correct answer. Seed, embryo is not correct. Embryo that develop into seed. Option D is the correct answer. Next question. The embryo gets nutrition from the mother's blood with the help of special part called fallopian tube, ovary, uterus, placenta. Here, the embryo gets nutrition from the mother's blood with the help of a special part called fallopian tube. No, it is a part of the uterus, ovary, which does not connect the embryo. Uterus is also not correct. Correct answer is option D, placenta, which connects the which the embryo gets nutrition from the mother's blood with the help of special part. The special part is placenta. Okay, option D is the correct answer. The common passage for both sperms and urine in human male reproductive system is option A, urethra, option B, ureter, option C, vas deferens, option D, urinary bladder. The common passage for both sperms and urine. So in case of the male, the sperms and urine that passes through the same passage, is it urethra, ureter, vas deferens, urinary bladder? Here, this will be the ureter, and this is the okay. This ureter which is connected to the kidney and which releases the urine to the urinary bladder. So urinary bladder which stores the urine, so it is not also not correct answer. Ureter is not correct answer. Vas deferens, that is that carries the sperms to the uh, urethra. So the vas deferens is not a common passage for urine and the uh, male sperm. So the correct answer is urethra. So this is urethra. So this is the common passage for the both urine and the sperms. Next question. The type of reproduction found in Spirogyra is option A, budding, option B, fragmentation, option C, vegetative reproduction, option D, spore formation. Here, the type of reproduction found in Spirogyra. Budding that we can see in the yeast and so that we see in the yeast and hydra, and vegetative reproduction mainly we can see in the plants. The vegetative parts are used to develop new organism. Spore formation that we can see in the rhizopus, in fungi. The correct answer is fragmentation, that is a sexual reproduction of the Spirogyra. Option B. Next question. Reproduction is essential for living organisms in order to keep the individual organism alive, fulfill their energy requirement, maintain growth, continue the species generation after generation. Here, why reproduction is essential for the living organisms? To continue the species generation after generation, to continue the race. So that is the reproduction is very important. Option D is the correct answer. Next question. In the below figure, parts A, B, C are sequentially. Option A, cotyledon, plumule, radical. Option B, plumule, radical, cotyledon. Plumule, cotyledon, radical. Option D, radical, cotyledon, plumule. See the figure here. A, that develop into shoot, that is nothing but the plumule. Okay. So plumule, A, plumule, that is that you can see in the B and C option. Then B is the radical. So sorry, B is the cotyledon. So we can see in the option C, cotyledon. Then this part that develops into root, that is the radical. So option C is the correct answer. Plumule, cotyledon and radical. Option C is the correct answer. Note down the question. Next question. Which of the following disease is transmitted sexually? Kala azar, jaundice, cholera, syphilis. Which of the following is a sexually transmitted disease? Here, Kala azar, jaundice and cholera, which is not transmitted, sexually transmitted disease. So the correct option, syphilis, which is the sexually transmitted disease. Okay, option D is the correct answer. Next question. Which among the following is not the function of the testis at puberty? Which of the following is not a function of the testis? Okay. Formation of germ cells, secretion of testosterone, development of placenta, secretion of estrogen. Here, the secretion of estrogen, it is not a function of the testosterone, it is a function of the ovary. And development of the placenta, which is not related to the testosterone. So, both are not correct. Here, secretion of testosterone, yes, that is the function of the testis. And formation of germ cells, that is also a function of the testis. So, which one is correct here? Which one of the following is not a function of testis? That is 3 and 4. Option C, 3 and 4. So these are not a function of the testes. Next question. Which of the following is a contraceptive? Copper T, condom, diaphragm, all of these. So contraceptive, what do you mean by contraceptive? That is used for the birth control, which control the birth. So which of the following is used? Yes, copper T, that is installed in the uterus and which is able to prevent the pregnancy, and condoms and diaphragm. So these all are the contraceptives. So the correct answer, all of these. Option D, all of these. Note down the question. Okay. Which among the following disease is not a sexually transmitted disease? Which of the following is not a sexually transmitted disease? Here, syphilis is sexually transmitted disease. HIV is a sexually transmitted disease. Gonorrhea is sexually transmitted disease, but hepatitis, which is not a sexually transmitted disease. Okay, option B, hepatitis is not a sexually transmitted disease. Note down the question. Which of the following options correctly shows the path that the sperms take when they are released from male reproductive system? Here, option A, testes, ureter, urethra, penis. Option B, testes, vas deferens, ureter, penis. Option C, testes, ureter, vas deferens, penis. Option D, testes, vas deferens, urethra, penis. Okay. Here, which of the following options correctly shows the path that sperms take when they release in the male reproductive system? Yes, they are released by the testes. Then they move into the vas deferens. Yes, vas deferens that we can see in the option B and D. Then ureter, which is not involved here. So they move in the urethra, then into the penis. Option D, testes, vas deferens, urethra, penis. Option D is the correct answer. Next question. Which event will likely occur in the ovaries of females after attaining the puberty? After attaining the puberty, fertilization, synthesis of eggs, production of eggs, growth and development of the embryo. Here, which of the event will likely occur in the ovaries of females after attaining the puberty? After attaining the puberty, there is a production of the eggs. So egg production takes place, right? So till now, we have discussed some important multiple choice question. Now we are discussing the 1 mark questions. Okay. So let us discuss the 1 mark questions. Write 2 examples for the organisms that reproduce by binary fission. Binary fission means the organisms, they divide into two new organism, right? So that is a binary fission. So example for the binary fission is amoeba and leishmania. So these two, they will reproduce by the binary fission. So what is binary fission? That is also important question. Then amoeba and leishmania. So these are the examples. Next question. In males, testes are located outside the abdominal cavity in scrotum. Why? The testes, why they are located outside the abdominal cavity in scrotum? To maintain the temperature temperature which is required for which is required for sperm production. Which is required for the sperm production. Okay, so that is why the testes are located in the scrotum. Yes, so this also you can note down. Next question. Name any two asexual mode of reproduction. Any two asexual mode of reproduction. You can write binary fission, binary fission, then fragmentation, or budding, vegetative propagation, regeneration. So these all are different types of the asexual reproduction. Here they ask any two modes of the asexual reproduction. Name the organism which reproduce by budding process. So which organism reproduce by budding process? Yeast and hydra, which is reproduced by the budding process. Small outgrowth will be formed on the outside the body, and that will develop, and after the development which is regenerate which is degenerate and detach from the body and develop into a new organism, that is yeast and hydra. Next question. What is asexual reproduction? Asexual reproduction is a type of reproduction where single parent is involved. Single parent is able to give rise to the new organism. Give rise to the new organism. Okay. The single parent is enough to give rise to the new organism, that is the asexual reproduction. In the sexual reproduction, there are two parents are involved, but in case of the asexual reproduction, single parents are involved. Okay, so that is asexual reproduction. Name the plant which propagate through its leaves. So you know that plants commonly propagate through their seeds or their body parts like stems or their roots. So these are the common things used for the vegetative propagation. But there is a plant which propagate through the leaves, that is called as bryophyllum. So this bryophyllum leaf which propagate through the leaves. Okay, leaves will develop into a new plant. Name any two unisexual flowers. Name any two unisexual flowers. Here, papaya and watermelon. What is the meaning of the unisexual flowers? Unisexual flowers means they have the either male or female reproductive structure, either male or female, only one, then no both male and female reproductive structure, they are called as unisexual flowers. So they are papaya and watermelon. Next question. Give an example for bisexual flower. So what is the meaning of the bisexual flower here? Bisexual flower means which contain the both male and female reproductive structure in it. So that is hibiscus and mustard. Okay. So the correct answer is hibiscus and mustard. Next question. What is the function of the prostate gland and the seminal vesicles? So here the prostate and seminal vesicles add their secretion so that the sperms are in a fluid which makes their transport easier, and this fluid also provides the nutrition. They provide the nutrition as well as they help for the transport. They make the transportation easier. Note down the answer. What is menstrual cycle? In female body, blood and mucus flows out every month through the vagina, which is termed as menstruation. So note down what is menstrual cycle. So that is the in a female body, blood and mucus. So that flows out every month through the vagina, which is termed as menstruation. So dear students, till now we have discussed the multiple choice questions as well as 1 mark questions. So in the next class we are discussing the short answer questions as well as long answer questions. Okay, so due to some technical reasons I will stop the class here. So after that after In the next class, I will continue the discussion of the short answer questions and the long answer questions. Thank you.